Welcome back, guys, to the Jake Ellenbogen channel. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and I'm here to give you a little bit of a different video. As we said, this is going to be a sports and entertainment, channel. So we're going to dive in today after looking at the kind of just refreshing my memory, realizing the fact that we are not going to get a project in the Marvel Universe in the month of May. We're in April. I get it. It is April 11th. I'm not trying to rush you into May. And to be honest with you, there's not much going on in May. So I don't know if I would want to rush you into May anyway. But I am here to tell you, after Falcon Winter Soldier, since the Black Widow movie has been sent back to July, we are not getting a Marvel project in May. Some of you may be a big, Star Wars fan, and you might be happy about the Bad Batch, but that's more of an animated series, so I understand if not everyone's interested in that. I might take a gander at it, but ultimately that's not really my cup of tea. I'm more of a live action TV show person, although you could give me the 1990s Spider-Man animated series or the X-Men series, and I'd be fine with that. Now, this show is going to be 5 TV shows that you must watch, and the point of this is May, there's not anything coming out. This is your opportunity. You don't have a show like WandaVision or, Falcon Winter Soldier to keep up with and get really excited for and feel like, an accomplishment every Friday. You can't wait till it's Friday to get that new episode. So this essentially is showing you 5 TV shows that you must watch. And honestly, we could title this 5 TV shows you should watch if you need to fill the void of Falcon Winter Soldier in the month of May. Now, that's way too long, so I'm not going to go with that, but that's kind of where I'm getting at here. So, before we get started, this channel is brought to you by our friends over at manscaped.com. You can go over to manscaped.com. You can type in the promo code JKB and get 20% off and free shipping off your manscaped.com order. So with that said, let's get into it. Again, it dawned on me. We're getting nothing in the month of May as far as content on Disney+. So here are 5 TV shows you have to add to that watch list and use to fill the void once Falcon Winter Soldier has concluded. And that, keep in mind, this is the month in between Loki. Loki will be here in June. So if you need content, obviously, I will be providing that on this channel, but also, here are 5 shows you should take out. Number 5. This is a crazy show. It's a show I binged on Netflix. It's 2 seasons, 20 episodes, came out in 2018, and it is called You. It is Penn Badgley and Elizabeth Lail, starring them in the show called You. It is a Netflix exclusive TV series in which Penn Badgley is going to play a character named Joe Goldberg in a twisted love story, so to speak. Joe is quite the stalker, and if you are looking to get immersed in the life of Joe spying on his crush by using any means necessary, you should go right on over to Netflix and binge the first and second season of You. I'm sure you've never seen anything like what you're about to see. This show was awesome. It is not over. We're getting a 3rd season later on this year. There was some misinformation that said that we were getting a 3rd season in the month of May. But that's not happening because May is just a horrible month, apparently. I kid. But either way, if you're looking for a kind of horror psychological thriller, if you're looking for kind of a realist thing, if you're looking to kind of scare yourself about the potential of being stalked, then go ahead and watch You. It's going to give you every single feeling that you could ever imagine. It's different. But Penn Badgley, I find the irony here is that he plays a stalker, but he was actually the kid in The Stepfather. And if you didn't see The Stepfather's kind of similar to You, although I don't know if it's exactly the same thing. More so, Joe Goldberg doesn't try to be someone he isn't. He kind of is that creep that does stalk people, which you'll learn. Whereas the stepfather doesn't really stalk people. He just kind of turns into a new person and I guess marries them. I don't know. Um, okay. Number 4. Bates Motel, 5 seasons, 50 episodes. Freddie Highmore, Vera Farmiga, and Max Terrio star in a reimagined modern day setup of Norman Bates from Psycho. This is crazy, and I really could not wait. When this came to, I believe it was AMC, I could not get enough of this. I remember watching this with my mom back in 2013 when it came out. We got 5 seasons out of it. Freddie Highmore has since moved on to huge things. He actually has his own TV series. Max Terrio has his own TV series. And of course, we know Vera Farmiga, very, very talented actress who has taken part in the Conjuring series, among other things. So, the Bates Motel is definitely something where you already know based on just what it's about. Norman Bates from Psycho, the iconic Psycho film. This show is wild. It's going to have you wondering how far this show is willing to go. And the crazy twists and turns, you're just not going to be ready for. At the end of the day, the character development in this show is, I would say, unrivaled, except there's so many good ones out there on this list, no less. So I can't say that, but I do think that it does a great job of developing the characters, telling a story, and it's very twisted. And it also it has ties to a popular film that a lot of people have seen in Psycho. There's callbacks to it. There's Easter eggs. If you're into that stuff, Bates Motel is absolutely in your wheelhouse, and I 100% recommend it. These first 2 TV shows, and this isn't my list of favorites. It'd be a little different. But these first 2 TV shows are awesome, and I would recommend them to anyone that likes a little bit of a twist, a little dark, kind of a little horror vibe to it. So a creepy vibe. So those are the first 2 there. Now we have number 3, and this is going to be dark, but it's not going to have a horror vibe necessarily to it. It's not necessarily like a stalkerish, creepy movie or TV show, but it's not exactly, sunshines and rainbows, and that is The Boys. A TV series. I just finished this earlier in the week, actually, and I was truly blown away. To be honest, this is exactly what I needed. I love the MCU as much as anyone, but I do like horror, and I like the dark vibes that the DC movies bring, mainly Zack Snyder. And so if you're really like me, and you like a dark tone on superhero genre, kind of like, say, Watchmen, The Boys is right up your alley. And The Boys is poorly titled, in my opinion. Should probably be titled Soups. If I'm being completely honest, no one flocks to this show based on its name, we'll say that. Regardless, Carl Urban, Aaron Moriarty, Jack Quaid, and Anthony Starr star in a show that imagines this scenario that superheroes exist in our modern day, and what would come of it. And I think it's pretty realistic, despite some, crazy gore and all of that. By the way, if you're not into gore, don't even give this TV show a shot, because you will not last. This TV show has a lot of gore. I'm just warning you. It kind of seems out of place at times, but it also is kind of part of the whole thing. So you're going to get a superhero ripoff of Superman. You're going to get a superhero ripoff of The Flash, Wonder Woman, Sue Storm, Aquaman, and other superhero references. It's just a different tone of the superhero genre, and you need to inject in your life right now, as long as you're not afraid of gore. Now, I don't personally love blood, and when I tell people this, they're kind of surprised, because I'm not saying people that watch horror movies love bleeding and all of that, but I actually have a hard time with it, and it's never, for whatever reason, fazed me when it comes to a TV show or a horror movie, because I'm a huge horror movie fan, as many of you probably know or don't know, and I'm a huge TV show fan. And obviously, in The Boys, you're going to get a lot of gore and blood and guts, and it might just come in the first episode. So go and check that out on Amazon Prime. That is awesome. Very highly recommend it. Just finished the 2 seasons. They're coming out with the 3rd either at the end of this year. I think they just started filming, so probably it comes out in 2022. So get in on that. Good cast. I think, Jack Quaid, his character really develops well in this. Carl Urban, I mean, he's awesome. We already know that. Does a really nice job in this one. Anthony Starr plays Homelander, who you will see is just unlike any superhero that you've probably ever seen. And Aaron Moriarty kind of adds a different dynamic to this show that keeps everything on edge. So again, you're going to want to go and you're going to want to watch this thing, because I can tell you there's sometimes I was able to predict things, and there were other times I wasn't even close to predicting anything. So definitely going to want to go and hit up The Boys. Number 2, if you, I mean, you're not going to finish all of these in the month of May, so you're going to have to pick and choose. You might even want to start them in April. Who knows? But number 2 is an awesome TV show that I don't think gets enough credit. I think it's rather underrated, whereas The Boys has become a huge TV show. Everyone was telling me to watch it on Twitter. Bates Motel was relatively big. I don't know if it's still big. And You was pretty big. It was a big thing going around Twitter. But The Following, I don't remember this ever being that big. Came out in 2013, had a huge main actor in this in Kevin Bacon. And I felt like this should have been way bigger than it was. 3 seasons, 45 episodes. Was hoping for a season 4. That's not the cards. Fox did not renew them. Netflix came close, but ultimately decided not to. It ends on closure, though. So I'm not going to hate on the fact that this ended in season 3 when I thought there could have been a season 4. It ends with closure. So it's not a bad ending or anything like that. Like, don't feel like you're watching this show and nothing gets resolved or anything like that, or there's a giant cliffhanger. It's pretty awesome the way things come together in this show, just throughout the show and how the development works. But essentially, this show stars Kevin Bacon as Ryan Hardy, who is a former FBI agent. He is called back to help by the FBI once James Purefoy, who's a very good actor, by the way, his character, Joe Carroll, escapes from prison. And his following grows. And The Following is about essentially Joe Carroll being like Charles Manson and having his own cult that's very heavily inspired by Edgar Allan Poe and the texts of Edgar Allan Poe. And so you'll notice there's a lot of, imagery and really messed up scenes that have to do with Edgar Allan Poe, especially in the first episode. It's a ride, and it's going to be heart-pounding. It's going to be a TV show that, keeps you on the edge of your seat. If you're not into that, this isn't for you, but this is a thriller. For thriller fans, this is a thriller you're going to want to check out. You also get to see Ryan team up with Agent Mike Weston, who is played by one of my favorite actors, very underrated actor, Shawn Ashmore. He is going to help him try to stop Carroll and his cult of fanatics. There's also some great other actors, but I'm not going to spoil anything for you. 3 seasons, 45 episodes, worth your time. If you're not into blood and guts, probably not the best to take this up. But if you are, or you don't, you're not bothered by it, at least, this is definitely the way to go. The Following is pretty awesome, and once you finish, be sure to hit my DMs at JKBoganDTSN on Twitter, and we will discuss this as much as you want. Although I'll probably have to rewatch it to fully understand everything that you're seeing, because you'd be seeing it fresh. But 100% recommend this. Again, these aren't shows necessarily related to the Falcon and Winter Soldier. They're not Marvel, but what they're going to do is they're going to fill that spot in your life that you're probably missing once Falcon and Winter Soldier ends. Now, moving on, we have the final number 1 TV show, and this is actually my favorite TV show of all time. Alexis Kraft, who is my co-host on the Downtown Rams podcast, for those of you that know her, forced me to watch this show. My father was all over me to watch this show for years. I always and I knew I'd love it, but I never really got into it, right? I never really gave it a shot until one day I decided to give it a shot. The season finale was Sunday. I started watching it the Sunday before that Sunday, and I ended up finishing it in a week. That's how much I loved it. 8 seasons, 73 episodes I finished in a week. No, it was not healthy. Yes, I probably could have died. Maybe not. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. But it was basically stay up until 5 a.m., watch this show, go to work at 8, come back home at 5, watch this show, stay up until 4, go to work at 8. Like, I didn't call out of work to watch this show because that is unbelievably loserish, and that's not me. But I will say that that week I took so much time. I didn't work on any articles. I didn't do a podcast. I was obsessed with Game of Thrones. And there's a reason. It's the greatest show of all time, in my opinion. Do not listen to the haters. This show is quite honestly amazing. And it's so amazing that I binged, again, all 73 episodes in 1 week. But what I will say is that it's based on a best-selling George R. R. Martin series, A Song of Ice and Fire. So you've either read the book before or you've heard of it. That's what this show is based on. It's brought to you by HBO, headlined by a phenomenal cast of Sean Bean, Amelia Clarke, Richard Madden, Kit Harington, Sophie Turner, Maisie Williams, Peter Dinklage, Lena Headey, and Nikolai Coster-Waldau. That's not it. There's plenty others, but I'm not spoiling those for you. The show kicks off with an unforgettable season 1, and the show develops and takes you on an impossible and improbable journey you simply aren't going to expect. I think ultimately with this, when I look at Game of Thrones and what I was able to take away from it is that sometimes you will guess certain things are going to happen and they just simply don't. The thing that I loved about this show was the character development. This is unrivaled character development. There is not a show that compares to the level of character development you will see in Game of Thrones. There's just not a show out there. It is such a fun show. Unfortunately, there are spoilers all over the internet. People use these memes all the time. You've probably seen all sorts of stuff, but I just promise you, it's worth your time. Check this thing out. Winter is coming. It's not really. It's actually in reverse, but we can pretend it is. Take May and just go through Game of Thrones if you haven't already. And I'm not going to be ignorant here. It came out in 2011. There's a good chance a lot of you have seen this incredible TV series. But unfortunately for me, I waited until it came out, the final season. So I missed out on all of that, or rather fortunately for me, because then I didn't have to wait on certain things, which you'll see. So if you've seen all of these, I can give some honorable mentions here, which I would probably say Royal Pains and Weeds. I think those are two, fun TV series to check out. Obviously, again, this isn't my list of favorites. This doesn't have Friends. This doesn't have New Girl. This doesn't have How I Met Your Mother. Those are 3 of my absolute favorite sitcom type of TV series. But the fact of the matter is, if you want to get into a show that is going to carry over, is not just a kind of a Legends material, like everything is canon in that show, then you're going to want to check out all 5 of these that each episode connects into. So again, we have number 5, You, number 4, Bates Motel, number 3, The Boys, number 2, The Following, and number 1, Game of Thrones. If anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down below. Appreciate you guys for watching the show and the channel as always. Be sure to subscribe if you like what I'm saying or you like what you heard or anything along those lines. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me, helps the algorithm. But that's going to do it, folks. Again, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys take my advice here. Don't sit in the month of May with nothing to do. If you need something to do, there's 5 awesome TV series that I just threw your way. Go binge one of them and just let me know. Feel free to contact me on Twitter, and I'll be more than happy to discuss the TV series with you, because I always find it very interesting in itself. Right now, I'm actually watching Gotham. I couldn't recommend you to watch Gotham because I haven't finished Gotham. That goes against every rule that I stand for. I have to finish a movie or a TV series before I recommend it. So Gotham's awesome through 2.5 seasons, but I haven't finished it, so I'm not going to recommend it. But I will say I'm enjoying it. But that's going to do it. So appreciate you guys so much. Again, be sure to subscribe. Follow me at JKBoganDTSN. Send me anything you guys want. If you want to talk about any of these TV series, you have any questions about them, send them over my way. More than happy to answer them. But that's going to do it for me. Again, I will be back soon with some sports content. But I've kind of been riding the wave lately with the entertainment field and really felt like I needed to get this out because, man, MCU totally ditched us in the month of May, and we're going to have to keep ourselves busy. So that's going to do it for me. You guys take care, and we'll talk soon.